Welcome to Diamond Niners Weekly for week 16 of the 2021 season. We are live on YouTube on Memorial Day evening talking about your NCAA tournament bound Charlotte 49ers. How about that? That's fun to say. I'll probably say it again soon. As always, this is Nick, joined by Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
Making it all go, producer Brad.
Hey, hey.
All right, folks, we promised you Coach Woody, and you're going to get him. We just talked to him. He called in and was ready to go, but he was driving home from team dinner, and we said, hey, I got an idea. Why don't you get home and call us back? You know, because we're all into that whole safety thing. So Coach Woody is on his way. We just talked to him. He's going to get home. He's going to call us back. He'll be here in just a minute. All right. We appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're listening live on YouTube, chime in the chat box. You guys have been doing a fantastic job of that lately, and it's made the show a whole lot of fun. So if you want to pass along any messages, we're always taking questions, but if you want to pass along any congratulations, a message of encouragement, et cetera, we'll pass it on. All right. So go ahead and jump in. Also hit us up on Twitter tonight as well. So we'll keep a monitor on that. All right. So here we are. We're going to kind of get going here. We've got Kevin, got producer Brad. Boys, how we feeling today? Kind of a historic day. How we feeling?
Feeling great, man. It's been a long time since we participated in the Selection Monday show, and it was a great feeling to do on Memorial Day. So couldn't be better.
Pretty awesome. Producer Brad, did you get a chance to get in on it?
I did. I turned my hotspot on. My internet was cut out earlier thanks to some construction. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I did get to see the show and was excited to see where we got placed, and it was good.
Yeah, good stuff. Producer Brad got home. We went to Ruston last week. I know some of you all did too because we saw you there. We set out. Producer Brad, myself, and my 15-year-old daughter. We set out for Ruston on, I don't even know what day that was, Brad. Was
Tuesday.
Tuesday. We drove to Meridian, Mississippi on the first day, and then went into Ruston the next day, and then kicked about Ruston for a few days. Good trip. I mean, you know, everybody, the sort of the elephant in the room is like, you know, the baseball didn't go all that well, but it was cool. Got to see another Conference USA town, which Ruston, I really liked Ruston. I mean, it's certainly a college town. Really cool to see how they when you go to local businesses, they all have Louisiana Tech stuff up, you know. So it's like it's definitely a community vibe. So it's pretty cool. But other than that, I mean, Brad, I think, check me on this. We kind of ate our way through Ruston, didn't we?
Tried to.
We had some fun. We hit up some different restaurants and tried to get some local flavor and pretty good stuff. Also, I guess one that we did eat while we were in Ruston, we ate at one chain. We had I had never been. Brad, had you ever been? Did you ever been to it?
No.
Okay. Neither one of us, nor my daughter, had ever been to a Whataburger. Now, here in Kannapolis, you know, Cabarrus County, we have Whataburger, right? So we eat there all the time. But Whataburger, the Texas chain, and so they had one right there in Ruston, and I'm like, I've never been in a Whataburger, so we're going in a Whataburger. And we did. And, you know, I mean, it wasn't – Kevin, have you ever been to a Whataburger, the Out West Whataburger?
Only the Out East. And I thought it was the same thing. Was it not the same thing?
No, it is. Our Whataburger here Um, it actually went to court one time. The two companies, ours is from here. Okay, the one that you see, there's a location in Mooresville. There's a couple in Kannapolis. There's one in Concord, over in one in Mount Pleasant. That Whataburger is a local establishment founded by a local family here. And then Whataburger, the larger chain, Whataburger, was founded in Texas at roughly the same time. And so both companies were using the Whataburger name forever. And I think it came to maybe a court case, but it never got very far because a judge reviewed it and said that both companies roughly had basically been using the name about the same amount of time, and they don't overlap at all. So there was no chance that people were going to get confused because they operated in different markets. And so both companies were just basically allowed to keep using it. For those of you who get Our State Magazine, there was a whole article about Whataburger, and they talk about this in that, I don't know, within the last year. So yeah, we went to Whataburger. And it was good. I mean, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I need to come here every day kind of thing. Brad, you tried, I saw it on the menu, but you tried the Dr. Pepper milkshake.
I did.
What was the review on that? How was that?
I would totally go for it again. The first sip, I guess because it was the bottom of it, wasn't so great, but once you actually got where it was actually truly mixed, it was good. I'm not sure how to explain it other than think of Dr. Pepper in a milkshake form, and obviously it doesn't have all the carbonation and everything because it's just the straight up syrup mixed with ice cream, but it was tasty.
Yeah, so we just ate our way through Ruston. The ball
made a side trip too.
Oh yeah, we did. We made a side trip. In order to get to Ruston, you pass through Monroe and then West Monroe, because Monroe needs two different places. West Monroe, Louisiana, that's where Duck Commander is. So one afternoon we went and toured Duck Commander because, I mean, why not? I mean, when's the next time I'm just going to be happening by Duck Commander? So we went and checked that out. And, I mean, it was interesting. I'll never go back, but I was going to go the first time. Right. So, I mean, there's really no reason to go back. It's a cool tour. You take it. It's not anything you need to, I can't wait to go back. It's not that kind of deal, but it was cool. I mean, that was a pretty good show. I watched it, when it was in its peak. That was pretty good viewing. I watched for Uncle Si. He was kind of the dude. But that ballpark, I don't want to accidentally talk about something baseball relevant here, but that ballpark that they have constructed at Louisiana Tech is pretty darn good. It is. I would consider it sort of a smaller scale minor league park. I mean, it's constructed like a minor league park. I think it seats about 2,000 in the seats. They're all chairbacks. There's no bleachers there. They have this really cool area down the right field line where there's tailgate tents set up, and they basically sell them like suites, I think. There's a right field berm out there where you can kind of bring your own chair or whatever. And so, I mean, it's a really nice facility. Their whole athletic complex is set up pretty nicely. The basketball, football, and baseball, and I guess there maybe the track is under construction or something. But the main venues are all right there together, and they kind of share parking. So I mean, it's cool. I mean, I enjoyed getting to see Ruston and visiting it, and which we'd stay a little longer, of course, but it was a cool trip. The only part of the trip, forget the baseball, the trip that really sucked was trying to get home. I still don't think we're home technically. We got there in 11 and a half hours, 8 hours one day, 3.5 the next. It took 15 hours to get home. and it all started in Atlanta. There's always Atlanta traffic, but there were 3 wrecks between Atlanta and South Carolina. 3 wrecks. One of them just stopped 85, and we were just sitting there on 85. Just sucked. But it is what it is. We got home. Pretty cool deal. Cool to see another Conference USA campus and their stadium. I imagine the tournament will eventually go back there. And for the most part, I thought that the people we ran into in Ruston were pretty. One, they were pretty excited about having the tournament, and they were pretty friendly and engaging, and glad that everybody we were there. So yeah, cool stuff. Okay, let's see here. So is this? I don't want to mess. I'm going to mess somebody's name up here. Nidra is commenting headwind. I'm assuming that's in reference to trying to get home. Were we flying into the wind, trying to get through Atlanta and get back to. I was never so glad to cross the state border is to get back in North Carolina, because the roads get better and we were just able to get places, and it was great. It was fantastic. So I was glad to be back in Illinois State.
So looking toward the future, I guess next year Southern Miss is hosting on their campus, and then the following year Rice is hosting. They've been announced, and then I think 2024 is kind of up in the air. They kind of tentatively promised to Marshall if their new ballpark gets done, but that may be the next time it's open to bid on as far as hosting a Conference USA tournament.
Yeah. And I mean, that would be, at some point, I know the 2024 thing is contingent upon Marshall actually building a stadium, but they need to hold that thing at least in the Eastern time zone at some point. The East won that tournament this year. Old Dominion took the title. Old Dominion to me all weekend looked like they just had a team of destiny kind of vibe going, because they were just really good. Oh, here we go. He got home. Let's let Coach Woody in here. Check it out. He's back.
What's up, guys? Niner Nation, what's up?
Man, we were sitting here boring these people to death talking about all the food we ate in Ruston. and getting stuck in Atlanta traffic and all this kind of stuff. But actually, we're gonna go forward here. But at an interesting point to talk about, we were just talking about the tournament rotation with Hattiesburg next year, Houston the year after that, and then tentatively Marshall in 2024. But the comment I just made, and this is a good place for you to jump in as any, Coach Woody. We need to get that thing in the Eastern time zone, don't we?
No doubt. Yeah, no, it was, that really, that whole discussion really occurred, honestly, right around the time, those discussions about those rotations were all happening right when I got hired. And I may have said it before, but, it wasn't something that was really high on my radar my first week or two on the job is, where's the 2023 or 22 Conference USA tournament, and then a couple weeks later, I went to our head coaches meeting in Dallas and got to meet the coaches. And then it was that's where I found out that it was, it was, so I think it kind of happened at an untimely, not a real opportune time for us to get in there, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Those are all great places. They're all great sites. And we're done with Ruston. We're never going back. And no, I'm just kidding. But it's part of it. You can't control certain things. So it kind of is what it is.
And Nick, you didn't give Coach his proper introduction. You should go ahead and restart that.
Oh yeah. We need to back up because the way we had you scripted to enter here was as reigning Conference USA Coach of the Year, Robert Woodard.
Oh, thanks, guys. It's very humbling, very, very humbling. First and foremost, that's a program award. That's an award that celebrates, the players certainly, because they're the ones doing it on the field, and the assistant coaches, because they're the lifeblood of the program, and the guys that are doing the heavy lifting on the recruiting trail to build and assemble this group of players that's so awesome and fun to be around each day, and the support staff for all the hard work and long hours and things that they do. So it's humbling for me. I look at it as, our program was recognized, and I'll accept the award on behalf of our program is kind of the way I look at it. And the second thing is, I didn't know this until I was informed by Sean Fox that I was receiving the award, but it's named after Keith LeClaire. And Coach LeClaire is a legendary coach whose time was cut far too short in terms of his impact on the game and college baseball. But I'm old enough to know and remember, how special of a human he was, even though I never met Coach LeClaire. Never, I was a high school kid who grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, 03 high school grad, who, stories were making it back to Charlotte about how great a Coach LeClaire was and how awful, his diagnosis was. And I think, hear stories about him still going to practice, the whole time and games the whole time he's going through that. And I think one of their last games, he was at a regional in Clemson. I'm not sure which year. And, he was right there. He was right there with the team all the way until the end. And, Coach LeClaire's coaching tree is about as impressive as it gets. There's some good ones out there, but it seems like so many coaches at other programs that I really respect, we're playing one this weekend, and Coach Godwin and Eric Bakich at Michigan, and Bryant Ward, one of the top assistant coaches in the country at UCLA, and so on and so forth. There's so many, and Kevin McMullen, associate head coach at Virginia. There's so many unbelievable coaches that Coach LeClaire impacted and are spread throughout our game. Just to receive the award on behalf of the program, but also, for the award to be named after Coach LeClaire is very humbling and a real honor.
Very cool. Now, I'm assuming that I guess there's a plaque that goes with that. Right. I mean, what do you get for that? What do you get with that?
I don't know. I don't know what it looks like yet. I don't know.
Okay. So, but okay. So we'll revisit that. We want to know where it goes. We got to figure out where it's going to go in your office, because it's got to, feng shui and all that. You got to have it in the right spot. We're getting some fantastic comments here in the chat.
Oh Lord.
Well, apparently, at least some segment of the audience likes listening to us talking about what we ate in Ruston better than the movie chat. So. Okay. I don't know. There's a vote for food over that. Speaking of which, and this is kind of a leading thing, Darren Spees, speaking of important people, Darren Spees wants to know how dinner was.
Dinner was awesome. There was no shortage of portions and options, and it felt like it was a 7-course meal. They just, kept bringing the courses, and our guys started off pretty loud when the dinner started, and by the end of it, everybody was pretty quiet, and that's usually a good sign. So it was special. You know, I think back to, we talked about it as a coaching staff at the table, and I think back to my times as a player, and I start thinking about what are some of the things that really I remember now, 15 years later, about this time of year. And I always remember those dinners. I always remember those unique kind of bullet points or checkpoints of, that remind you that this is something special, and we're doing something, we're playing at a time of year when, it's really hard to do, and not everybody gets to do it. So we celebrated that tonight, and, it's just moments like today at the selection show and tonight at dinner are things that, I think are memories that hopefully our players and everyone affiliated with the program will carry with them, the rest of their lives. That's what we're doing right now, is we're creating those types of memories, and it's pretty cool.
For those of you that are curious and are on Twitter, Coach tweeted out a menu for tonight, team dinner. Where were you guys?
Maggiano's, yeah.
Maggiano's,
over at South Park.
And the menu, it sounds like we have some foodies at least listening to the show. If you're interested in the food conversation, go look at Woody's tweet from the menu from tonight. It looked awesome. And, that was the first thing we told Coach tonight when he called us before was, the Zoom thing really sucks because he can't bring us leftovers via Zoom. So we are totally on the outside looking in here.
I don't know if our guys left y'all many leftovers.
No, I've seen some of those guys eat, so probably not. All right, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get into talking about today because that's what we're really here to do. But Kevin, we're catching up on some things. We took out one mentioning your Coach of the Year award, but our guys racked up a number of impressive awards and honors from the league last week. And Kevin, I'm just going to kind of let you roll through them there, and then we'll let Woody, kind of jump in on them.
All right, the big one, Austin Knight, Player of the Year, also Newcomer of the Year, and first team all conference. I think Austin was our first conference Player of the Year since Justin Seeger won in 2013. So. I think there's only been 5 Niners that have been selected for that award, or Conference Player of the Year award. So very high esteemed award in the 49er Niner Nation, I would say. Bryce McGowan, all conference first team. Christian Lothes also was on the all conference first team, and he was also on the all freshman team as well. On the second team, we had Aaron McKeithen. Second team also was Will Butcher. He was also named to the all-freshman team. And Gino Gruber was also named to the all-freshman team as well. So quite a few honors. Honors like these happen when you win a lot of ball games, and we won a lot of ball games. So we took home a lot of awards. So congrats, Coach, and congrats to all the players that were named to these honors.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it was that's the coolest thing is again, when Sean Fox is he's rolling through. I mean, we had so many players nominated as well. I mean, there's guys that have had there's so many guys that have had awesome years that that didn't necessarily make those teams, but could have been, and maybe even should have been. But like you said, I mean, that's how. That's why we've been able to win as many games as we had and be in this position and celebrate these things, is because we have really talented players, but we also have, very selfless players and very, guys that love to compete, and they're a resilient group that, I mean, I told our guys today, I can't imagine going through, everything that they've had to go through, and to perform at the level they've performed at. And when you look at, I couldn't help but notice, Nick, the top 25 rankings last week. I just happened to glance one time at it, but I looked at it not to see where we were ranked or anybody else was ranked. I looked at it for a different reason. I looked at it because I wanted to know how many other teams in the top 25 have played 56 games, and I was, really interested in that. And there was only two. Us and Tennessee were the only two teams in the top 25 that had played a full 56 game slate. And, if you really think about all of the hurdles and the obstacles and the challenges that, our players and support staff and coaching staff has really had to navigate and endure. It's incredible. And for our players to play at the level they've played at under those circumstances, I shake my head every day, because the game's hard enough as it is, and then you throw everything else that they've had to deal with on top of it. It's pretty incredible.
I love that. I love how you throw that in there. Like, yeah, I looked at one, Nick, but not for the reason that you do.
I did leave out one. I left out Dave McCabe, all academic, all conference team. So pretty good. You mentioned off the field stuff as well, and definitely well deserved of that.
Yeah, no, he's the epitome of student athlete, and we all know that if David's playing a full season, he's right up there, at the top of those other awards as well. But again, just to be able to have the the ability that he has, the leadership skills that he has, and the GPA and academic prowess that he has, David McCabe's future is incredibly bright, and whichever avenue he goes out, after baseball is done. But he's a special person, so happy for him.
So got some more shout outs here. Feet Davis 26, your boy. He just says, yo, Feet just wants us to know he's here. Feet is announcing his presence with authority. Also Emily says congratulations to the guys and well-deserved coach. And I'm definitely gotta throw that in there, because I'm married to her and she's watching on her phone on YouTube downstairs. So
thanks, Emily.
There you go. All right. So let's do this. Most of this season, all these shows have consisted on some level of various ones of us, particularly, I don't know, me, maybe, trolling you and trying to get you interested in talking about various things that maybe you're not interested in talking in. And the one thing we're talking about, and the one thing you always come to, we don't really talk about that, Nick. We talk about playing on ESPN in June. So let's start with today. I know it's not quite June. It's not June or tomorrow, but I turned on ESPN2 today, and you were on ESPN in almost June. So let's start there.
Yeah, it's a pretty, I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, I think people like a year or two ago, I don't know. I just felt like people, when people ask, like, what are your goals for the program? What are your goals for the program? Like, every goal for me that I feel like, as the coach of this program, they all occur in June, and they all occur, on ESPN, because, that's who's covering regionals, super regionals in Omaha. And so it became a much shorter way of really trying to lay out what all of our goals are. So, and also kind of a little bit of a read between the lines thing. So yeah, it was, the goal has always been since day one is for Charlotte baseball to be watched in the 704 by the fan base, in June on ESPN. And here we are, and we have this opportunity, and it's time to go get it.
I don't know whose idea it was to Zoom you guys watching the show, but that was a good idea somebody had. That was I think they recorded it, so it's out there. The moment that we're announced is out there. You can see that on social media. Go check the accounts. I never. Were
you guys surprised? Did you guys think we were going there?
Well, since all the experts said we were going to Tennessee, we knew we were not going to do it at Tennessee.
Yeah.
So we were kind of up in the air, and we were pleasantly surprised. It was a drivable regional for us. So yeah, that's what we were hoping on, and we got it. So we were very happy.
Yeah, I tell you, I was talking to all these projections were changing every day last week. Baseball America, D1, they were putting them out every day, and I was standing there talking to the Keuchels when one of them came out, and it had us projected as a 2 seed in Fort Worth. And I just mentioned it out loud, and I was like, But all of a sudden they were like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm like, oh yeah, well that makes sense. And I told them, I said, look, no offense, but I'm probably not going to be in Texas next weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be in Texas next weekend. The thing we were talking about, though, like Kevin said earlier today, everybody seemed to agree that we were going to be a 2 seed in Knoxville. And that these various reporters are talking to people. So the question is, do they know something that we don't, or does that mean that that's definitely not what's going to happen? And I guess it meant that's definitely not what's going to happen. I mean, the reasoning was sound, because if we were going to stay regional and they were going to send Old Dominion to Columbia, then we couldn't go there, because South Carolina was going to be the 2 seed, and we're in the same conference. So that left basically 2 local options, Tennessee and East Carolina. And they guessed Tennessee, and that's not the way it went.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it is fascinating. I think it'd be, if you could go behind the scenes and see it all unfold, and how things get persuaded. It's an incredibly challenging task for the committee. I know. I can't imagine being the one responsible for deciding these things, and just because there's so much that goes into it, and it means a lot. I mean, it means so much. Like, I mean, it's everybody's worked so hard for 16 weeks of a season, but then you throw in the preseason and the fall and the number of years it takes to build a recruiting class to peak at for a season. It's a lot goes into it. So I give the committee a lot of credit for, in my opinion, I think they got it right. I think they got it fair. And, now it's all the team's time to go play and settle it on the field.
Yeah. And Ethan chimes in, drivable regionals are nice. Yes, they are. They are very nice. I mean, that's a very, very doable regional. So I'll just lay that out there in case we kind of jumped in on talking about it. The Niners are the number 2 seed in Greenville, North Carolina. ECU, the 1 seed. Maryland, who we will play at 6:00 on Friday, is the 3 seed, and Norfolk State is the 4 seed. So a few things to put out there. I know people are talking. We're seeing the traffic on Twitter, and people talking about tickets and people talking about arrangements and stuff like that. We've done some homework, and we found out a little bit. Okay, the way this stuff works is obviously just the way we were able to sell tickets for a potential regional in Gastonia ahead of time. East Carolina had the opportunity to do the same thing. They are still having the opportunity to sell tickets to their fan base, and they're doing that through the Pirate Club, et cetera, et cetera. Come Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., anybody, including us and anybody, regardless of who they are a fan of, will have the opportunity to buy tickets, okay, through the Pirate Ticket Office. Now, from my understanding, that number, they expect to sell basically all the tickets to their fans, and there will be a minimal amount available for us and you and anybody else out there. That includes Maryland people, Norfolk State people who are not who don't have a kid on the team, basically is what we're talking about. So 9 a.m. Wednesday morning, if you want to go to Greenville, you need to be ready to jump on this, and it's going to be a pretty intense little competition there. So, same deal with the accommodations. I've heard from a lot of folks this afternoon. We've all gotten messages about people that are looking at hotel rooms. We have grabbed an Airbnb in Kinston, North Carolina, which is about half an hour away. Okay, so the hotel rooms and the Airbnb, the whole situation in Greenville is completely jacked up this weekend. And no, it's not the baseball tournament. We did a little looking into this. You can't make this stuff up. The North Carolina Republican Party is holding a convention in Greenville, North Carolina this weekend, and Donald Trump is speaking in Greenville on Saturday night. And so there are no hotel rooms. There are very few hotel rooms to be had in Greenville, North Carolina. And if there are, they are of a certain price point, which can be good or bad. I think there are very low price point hotel rooms, which you might want to be careful with in Greenville, North Carolina. And there are very high price point hotel rooms. So that's just the deal, folks. We're just passing this information along. Tickets are going to be a challenge. Places to stay are going to be a challenge. Some of it's because the ticket deal is because ECU has a rabid fan base. Good on them. Okay. The accommodation situation is because of something that has nothing to do with baseball. So there it is. That's all the information we've got for you tonight. As far as getting to Greenville. Now, I mean, do everything you can. I mean, like I said, we went all in on an Airbnb in Kinston this morning when we found out, or this afternoon. And, you know, I don't know what's going to happen next, but we might be out there standing on the sidewalk on Greenville. Well, that's not Greenville Boulevard. What is that? University Drive, Kevin? You know what I'm talking about? The road that runs down beside the football stadium. I think it's called University Drive. Whatever. We might just be standing out there on that sidewalk, but hey, I've seen people do that.
Hey, I'm jumping the fencing. I'm getting in the jungle. I'm jumping the fence to the jungle.
Hey, we've corresponded with those guys. They need to sneak us over that fence, right? We're on friendly terms with the jungle dudes. Let's see. Clayton writes in, says Rocky Mount's 30 minutes away, and there's reasonable rates in Rocky Mount. So there you go. Check those. There's Rocky Mount, there's Wilson, and there's Kinston. Those are sort of the next closest towns to Greenville. So anybody out there going, I can't find a room, check those places. I think Mr. McGowan was saying he's just driving in daily from Raleigh, so which is not a bad idea either, I guess.
Yeah, not a bad idea. You know, the NCAA is kind enough to give us one official slot for a bat handler. It's not a bat boy or a bat girl. We have one official slot for a bat handler. So if there's an emergency spot, Nick, and you need tickets, and you want to be the bat handler for the Niners, you know, that's the NCAA did give us that option. And
Does he get to wear a uniform?
Submit it says like bat handler. It's like coaches, admin and support staff, and then there's like one slot for bat handler, and you have to put like the name and how old the bat handler is. That's an emergency ticket spot if need be.
I'm 42.
There you go.
I'm 42, and I would need a Niners jersey with the BB on the back.
Coach Simmons,
BH,
right on that.
BH.
Oh yeah, well I guess it's BH, but yeah. I kind of like the BB. You know, I mean that's traditional.
No, we got to be compliant. We've got to be. The NCAA says it's a bat handler. That's what it is, and we get one, and we have to submit the age.
So, let's bring it back down in here.
I'm thinking that you would be the only team to submit a 42-year-old. Oh my gosh!
Our bat handler is Nick McIntyre, 42, with a plus beard.
Heck yeah,
Coach! You asked us if we were surprised when the regionals came out. How about you guys and your team? Were you guys surprised? And I know you guys been practicing today and having other things going on. Have you had a chance to look into the regional itself yet?
Yeah, we haven't. I know Coach Miney's watching film as we speak, but today's just been, celebrating the journey to this point, and we had a really good practice. Obviously a great dinner tonight. Now today's just kind of about today. We'll get to tomorrow morning. We'll kind of we'll and like I said, Coach Miney's watching film. I'll kind of start looking ahead as far as scouting and Maryland and what they have in their matchups and those kind of things. Tomorrow morning, but no, we haven't gotten too far ahead. I wasn't. I got tipped off about 30 or 45 minutes prior to the show, so I'm not. I kept a secret.
You knew for 30 minutes?
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I had a strong inclination that's where we were going, but I didn't want to ruin it for anybody else. And I've watched our team's reaction probably 20 times. It's just cool to go look around at each guy and how, see everybody's reactions, and everybody's so into it. And it's exciting. It's exciting. They worked extremely hard for it. And, we've been to Greenville. We know, we're aware of the surroundings and the atmosphere. It's going to be electric. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity for us to go get it.
You didn't even tell Toby.
Nah, because I don't.
You let that man sit there. I texted you about this. You let that man sit there. Toby was he was intense. I was watching the Zoom, and Toby was like, it's like, Toby, dude, we're getting ready to get in the tournament, man. Smile a little bit.
I don't think the staff was pumped about being on the front row, but I think because that means they got to be you got to be kind of front and center and at attention. And Toby sitting still for an hour, that's a tall task.
Worldwide TV. You're on worldwide TV right there.
Yep.
Kevin, you ain't gonna believe this suggestion that's come in. This come in from Nidra, and I apologize if I'm butchering your name, Nidra. Let's have Nick and Kevin wrestle for it. Me and you wrestle for bat handler. I think I might just let you have it, buddy, because I don't think I would do real well in that. To be honest with you.
All right, I don't like the sound of that either. Maybe we just see who can throw the hardest, and then.
Well, you're still going to win that. You're still going to win that. I can't break glass. Come on. And Darren might have settled it anyway. He says bat handlers can't video at bats. So, Nick, you're out.
Huh.
So, hey, we do have an intern now. Our digital media, our social media digital intern, my 15-year-old daughter, she went to Ruston with us. So anybody out there who is seeing anything, we've been putting content on Instagram. She was running Instagram last weekend and teaching me about Instagram. I'm always saying I don't know what to do with Instagram. She was giving me like the millennial lowdown on what to do with Instagram. So if you're seeing more Instagram content out there, it's a 15-year-old girl that's bringing it. She's coming to Greenville, so
she's crushing it.
There will be more Instagram content. So anyway, all right, Kevin, I think you were about to bring us back to baseball, so I'm going to get out of the way and let you do that.
Okay. Coach, I was just curious if you talked to Nick Turnbull about our opening round matchup with Terrapins.
Nothing in particular. Just I think I said to him, I said, man, your phone's got to be a lot of fun right now. And he kind of smiled and was just like, oh yeah. Like, I was like, yeah, RIP your phone. So, yeah, it's cool. There's so many cool storylines about the NCAA tournament in general and guys on our team. And so it's neat. It's exciting. So I know I know he's got some pals on that team, and when he gets in there, it'll be a good, it'll be a good kind of backyard competition for them. It'll be good.
So, in general, you've got so much experience in the NCAA tournament as a player and as an assistant coach, and now you're going to do it as a head coach. How do you approach this week? I mean, you guys got back from Ruston. You're getting a certain amount of rest. I know you guys have been on the practice field, hot and heavy since you got back. I have a feeling I know which way you're going to go with this, but are you approaching this week any differently, or is this just another week?
I don't know if there's maybe a little bit differently. I think we're because I think we pretty much approached the conference tournament as if it was, like just any other week and that sort of thing. And, there's some things we just need to get better at. So I think we've been a little bit more intentional, I guess, with the things we really want to focus on with individual guys or smaller groups, and not as like, maybe, I don't know, like full team on the field for a long length of time kind of oriented, I guess. Kind of gone like more smaller groups and tried to be really intentional with the things that we're trying to improve at that time in practice. I'm just try to throttle up maybe the team chemistry part of things too, just enjoying being around the guys and making sure that, we're intense when we need to be intense, but we're loose when it's time to be loose, and appreciating just, I tweeted the picture of us kind of huddled around the outfield wall, and just slowing things down a little bit and sharing a moment with everybody on the team that, this team is going up on the wall. This team is going up on the wall, and we see that wall every single day at practice and game, obviously. And those are special teams up there. It's really hard. It's really hard to get up there. I mean, there's 40 plus years of Charlotte baseball history, and there's five teams that are up there, and there's countless teams that were really good that could have been up there. But, it's just, what these guys are doing is special, and it's something that they'll come to the Hayes 10, 20 years from now, and they'll, like, 2021 is going to be on that wall, for as long as the stadium stands. And the stories that they're going to tell, their families and their little ones about this year, it's happening right now. And that's in my experience of the NCAA tournament. Like, those are the things that I think we're really trying to throttle up is just the appreciation for each other and the time with each other and around one another, and, pushing one another to go after it and to go get it, because, we didn't come this far to come this far, I guess is the saying. We've come this far to play as long as we can. And, this group wants to play together as long as we can, and you can feel that. So, those are the things like, if I say, like, a lot of which is, stayed the same as far as what's gotten us here. We stay with what's gotten us here, but there's some other little things that maybe we're doing a little bit more of, or maybe we're a little bit more intentional of, now more than ever.
Well, what about the, and I am in no way attempting to get you to look past this week, because that's not even the intent of my question, but the value of this experience going forward for your young guys, because I believe this stat was correct. We were talking about this last week, that we had one guy on the roster that had played in a Conference USA tournament, and that was Todd Elwood. And now we're moving into an NCAA tournament scenario, and nobody. All right. right here. Nobody's played in one.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Austin Knight was in a regional.
Austin would have been in a regional with Tennessee last year. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
2 years ago. Yep.
So yes, thank you. 2 years ago. Going forward, the experience that you're putting these young guys through, I mean, that's got to be valuable as you're building, right?
Can't put a price on it. Yeah, I mean, just the dinner tonight. I mean, it's, we're all at a really nice restaurant, having a blast, hanging out, and that's just something. For one, with protocols and everything that we were in earlier in the year, and you just couldn't do that sort of thing. But that's going to be a tradition in the program. When we go to the NCAA tournament, we're going to go to a really nice meal together and be together and celebrate it. And I think those things are really important. And so it's the kind of things that, like, yeah, next fall, we're probably in our fifth week of the fall, and maybe some guys are a little bit tired or a little bit worn down, and it's like, hey, like, you guys want to go eat at Maggiano's June 1st? Like, let's go. And that's probably all we're gonna have to say, is because because now they're gonna and I'd like to think you don't have to say something like that as a coach, but it's just human nature. It's human nature. You're gonna have to jumpstart guys. But that one statement right there, I mean, that's all that needs to be said. Really, is like, hey, look, like, if we want to go have that another team meal at Maggiano's, June 1st, we've got to kick it into gear here, and it can be a motivator, because we're kind of, once you break. There's in training, there's two types of things. There's training for the known, and there's training for the unknown. And it's way harder training for the unknown, training for something that you don't know what it looks like or what it feels like, right? Like, if I just said, Nick, I need you to go run as fast as you can. I'll let you know when to stop. Or, hey, Nick, I need you to run as fast as you can for 20 seconds. Right? Like, you're probably going to actually run harder than you're going to run harder knowing that you have 20 seconds, versus if you don't know, you're probably going to pace yourself. Right? So it kind of gets into that world a little bit, which, that's coaching, I think, in a lot of ways. And I think, so what, what I'm getting at basically is we're breaking through the unknown, and we're getting into the known, what it feels like. I mean, although we weren't selected as a top 16 host, like, just our guys understanding, like, how close we are to actually being a regional host, and that it can happen here and it can be done here. Like, there's no, like that's a new expectation. Like, that's a new expectation for, where we want to be as a program in that discussion each and every year. And, we didn't know what that felt like last year, so it was more of an unknown. So, getting into the world of doing things that maybe we don't know, or, and then being able to lean on that experience in the future. Again, it's gotten a little longer winded than I wanted to, but hopefully you guys are understanding, hopefully I'm coming in clear about what I'm trying to say, is that, yeah, like, from a big picture standpoint, shifting these things that are previously unknowns to knowns, then will pay off tremendously in the long term, in my opinion.
It's institutional memory. Mm-hmm. It's the collective. And I mean, it starts, something I've noticed, and with some of the guys that aren't here yet, like guys you guys have signed for next year, have been all over this stuff, retweeting it and talking about the team. They're like, yeah, that's where I'm going to be next year, and I mean, that's got to be that you're already setting that tone. It's like, if you're a high school, you're a high school player signed to play here next year, and you're looking at what all this team's doing, you're going, one, I want to do that. Right. And two, maybe I don't need to maybe when I feel like it, maybe I don't need to skip a lift. I gotta keep it going because, man, when I get there next year, this is what they expect. This is what they're doing. And I got to be ready to do that.
Yeah, no. And it can be helpful, in terms of just, future recruiting conversations. You can say when a coach asks, hey, what are you guys looking for? Well, we're looking for players that can help us host regionals, and we're looking for players that can help us, if we have to go to East Carolina for a regional and play 3 really good teams, like we need players that can help us win those games. And then the coach says, well, I don't know if he can help you do those things. That can save us some time in the recruiting process. Or on the flip side, you say, yeah, that, like, I've got that, I coached that kid, and this is his name, and, can really help from a recruiting standpoint.
In the chat here, Clayton says for everybody to check out the Marriott Courtyard in Rocky Mount. He said the rates were reasonable there. So Clayton's apparently staying in Rocky Mount. So if you're out there thinking, where am I going to go? Check out the Courtyard in Rocky Mount, Clayton says.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, you can always count on Clayton. Kevin, you look like you're about to jump in there.
I was just listening to Coach talk about the future. I'm surprised you got into talking about that far in the future with the regional coming up. But
I must be getting tired. I must be getting you guys must be wearing me down a little bit.
Maybe after 16 weeks, I'm getting good at this.
You talk about recruiting and player development. That's what your deal is, and then I'm sure we can get you to talk about recruiting anytime.
Yeah, it's fun. We need to have Toby and B-Rob and the guys on here and talking about that stuff here at some point, way down the road.
Yeah.
When we're done with this team playing this season.
Oh yeah. So let's recap this here, just for the state where we are here. It's Monday night, and we're going to be playing Maryland at 6:00 on Friday. Kevin, all this stuff is at least on ESPN Plus. Is that game on Friday ESPN Plus?
Yeah, I believe ESPN3, they said.
Yeah, ESPN3. So you can go on the ESPN app and watch that game. But don't do that. Just go to Greenville and stand on the sidewalk with us, or maybe apply for the bat handler position. It's
that's our emergency ticket. Yep.
So it is a 4-team regional. It's double elimination for those of you who have forgotten. So it's double elimination. We will play Maryland. East Carolina will play Norfolk. It's Norfolk State. And then the next day you will have a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket, and it goes on and on. And then this concludes on Sunday with somebody needing 1 win to go to a super and somebody needing 2 to go to a super. So same deal. It's been a while, guys, but we're back. It's been 10 years, but it's back. We're back. And I couldn't help but think today. TJ Nichting made a post, former player, about how it's been a long time coming, and it got us to talking about how many people have put in time to help us get back here. Not just players, but I mean we could go, Coach Hibbs, obviously Bo Rob has been here and still here. Coach Doty, Coach Brandon Hall. And then you start naming players, and there's too many to name, but all these guys since 2011 that have participated in this and, kind of help build this brick by brick. So there's a lot of people that deserve to be happy about today. And we're happy for all of them, including everyone we've already mentioned. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no question. Days like today, they don't occur overnight. They occur, over, countless days, even years. And to your point, with so many individuals, pushing and rowing, all towards the same direction, which is, to see Charlotte playing in the NCAA tournament and making runs and in the College World Series. So, no, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you acknowledged that. There are certainly a lot of. I saw TJ's tweet and he's spot on, man. That that group of guys, they've been incredible, and so many of the guys, the former players, have been so awesome and welcoming to myself and the rest of the coaching staff, and have been so supportive. And I can't thank guys like TJ and Yeti and Reese and there's so many guys that have they come back all the time and around this group, and it's cool. It means a lot to myself and the coaching staff, to have such support from the former players. It's awesome.
All right, Coach Woody, we're going to get you to bed because you probably need some rest. You probably have some things going on the rest of this week. We always give you the last chance to have the last word. What do you want to add? What put the cherry on top of this? This is the We're Playing on ESPN in June edition of Diamond Niners Weekly. How do you want to end it?
Yeah, I mean, let's go get it, y'all. I mean, I know nothing really, nothing really profound or emphatic. I would say let's just go get it. We've worked. Everybody here has put in so much time, effort, and energy, and our players deserve this, and we're excited. So, let's go get after it this weekend, make some noise, and keep this ride going as long as possible, because this is the most fun I've ever had coaching, and I'm not ready to stop, selfishly. So let's keep it going.
Fantastic. Can't stop. Won't stop. That's going to do it for us, folks. It's time to go to the NCAA tournament. What more do you want? This is it. We're tourney bound, baby. So we love hearing from you guys. Check us out on social media, Twitter, Facebook, yes, Instagram. If you see things you like on Instagram, that's my daughter. So, cool. If you see us at the ballpark, say hello. It's been cool meeting a lot of you folks. And we hope to meet a heck of a lot of you in Greenville this weekend. So if you can, come join us on the sidewalk, whatever. Do whatever you got to do to come hang out in Greenville this weekend. So until next time, heck, we're not going to see you at the Hayes. We're going to see you at the NCAA tournament. Good night, everybody.